hunting you. Stay alert.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control.
SMG here.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Tango front.
You can never take away the power of my
Hate it.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
An enemy team is hunting you. Stay alert.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control.
SMG here.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Tango front.
You can never take away the power of my
Hate it.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control. It's out of my hands. You can never take away the power of my soul.
An enemy team is hunting you. Stay alert.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control.
SMG here.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Tango
Activated.
Oh man. What the fuck is up, you guys? What the fuck is up? Yeah, that's why I have the extra long intro so I don't have to worry about, cursing in the first 15 seconds of my stream or whatever, because that's against the the YouTube rules. But Stoned Liberty, bro. Stoned Liberty. It's been a while since I did the podcast. And it was something that I really wanted to do. And that's why I think the first thing I need to start out with and the first thing I need to address is my absence from YouTube. The absence of content from the channels. I mean, I have been doing gameplays over the last couple of nights. If you're into Call of Duty, Rocket League, looter shooters, into watching gameplay, I do that during the evenings now that I have the time. But yeah, first things first, we have to start out with the absence from YouTube. And so, just to kind of go over, I started working for this place around the same time that I started the Stone Liberty channel. And if you did notice, I'm not streaming from that channel right now, and that's just because it's not connected to my Streamlabs account yet. I'll handle that eventually. I'm not too worried about it because I can still do Stone Liberty right here from my channel. Doesn't matter. But I took that job. You guys know I'm a chef. If I need to go grab one of my coats to fucking prove it to you, I will. But I've been putting in 60, 65-hour weeks every week, busting my ass, working my ass off, working my fingers to the bone, trying to pay my bills. And really, I just didn't have the time to dedicate to doing a lot of research and going through all the bullshit that goes with producing a podcast. There's a lot of work that goes into producing podcasts, and a lot of people don't know that. They don't realize that. And even this one is probably going to be not the greatest because I didn't exactly plan this one out necessarily. Not that I didn't plan it out. It was a kind of a spur of the moment thing. I haven't been, like I said, I haven't been doing the stream, or I haven't been doing the podcast, and so I had to address that. It's just hard to work 65-hour weeks and put together all this stuff, especially when you're not making any money on it. So with that, I offer my apologies. I'm gonna try and keep up some content coming now that I actually have some free time. So we'll do that. We'll do that. So that addresses the absence of myself from YouTube for the time that I was away, the time that I wasn't doing the podcast. I don't have much of a following anyways, but doesn't mean I can't do it. Doesn't mean that, because I have all this equipment, I have these cameras, I have these microphones, I have these gaming consoles, that I can't do it or that I shouldn't do it. I do it because I want to. And that's what it is. It brings me joy. So that's, kind of where I'm at with that. But there was a lot that I missed when I wasn't streaming, and some of that I feel like I need to touch on before I really get into the meat of what I wanted to discuss here today, which is going to be the Libertarian Party and the increase of these grifters entering the movement and trying to take over. It's getting to a point to me where I'm just super annoyed by it. I'm super annoyed by it. These people that like haven't established themselves in the party, don't really know anything about the principles of libertarianism or all the different sects of libertarianism. You know, there's a big umbrella. We've got anarchists, anarcho-capitalists, left of center, right of center, whatever you want to call it. We've got them all, and we do need to bring more people to the party. But I want that locally. And I'll get into my affiliation with the party when we get into the segment about all this grifting going on, because I feel like it's important that I explain my status and my stature in the party, where I come from, what I do, and why I do the things I do outside of the party. Now, while I was away, we got all the Twitter files, right? And I don't need to take the time to rehash the Twitter files with you guys. Y'all already know basically what the Twitter files were all about, what they exposed, and really, when it comes down to it, I give Elon major props, even though in the recent weeks with all this Eliza Blue bullshit and so on and so forth, it seems like he's not exactly uh, he's not exactly the free speech absolutist that we thought he was, or that we were hoping for. But the fact of the matter is he has turned Twitter around in a sense, and you see that when you see fact checkers going after the president and so on and so forth. Like, those are good things. Good things have happened for Twitter. Now, I got banned again. This has been 8 months ago or so now, since my original, and it wasn't even my original, it was my second account. I went from 6,000 followers, got banned over something stupid. Second account had 650 when it got banned over reporting on what Ethan Klein said about Ben Shapiro, which was fucking stupid. And now we're on to the third account, which we have like a total of like 60 some odd followers. I'm not in it for the follower count. Never really gave a fuck. I'm not a people person. Don't really care. Really don't. And so, I mean, that's where I'm at with that. Kind of went off there. But, the Twitter files exposed a lot. And here's the thing. It pisses me off when people are like, oh, the Twitter files didn't really show anything all that important. Blah, 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 blah. The government, blah, 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 blah. They were just trying to keep us safe, blah, 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 blah. All these people have the same fucking talking points. And these are the same people that hate Elon Musk. It's a culture of hatred for the truth, which is crazy. And like I said, I'm not super sold on Elon Musk and his free speech absolutism. I'm not sold on it. I mean, that's not to say that I don't hope that Twitter gets better, because I definitely hope that Twitter gets better. But I'm weary of what is actually going on at Twitter, especially like I said, in light of all the recent. I'm not gonna get into the Eliza Blue weeds, but some of my shout out to Jeremy at the Quartering, love that dude. Um, he got banned for posting a picture. Brittany Venti got banned for posting a picture of Eliza Blue. There's just a lot of crazy nonsense with that story, and maybe it'll be worth covering at a later time. Like, I might do a short on it myself, just because of all the craziness that has gone on with that. But what like I was saying before, I got distracted, is that the Twitter files showed us that the government, you know, we talk about private business, and you know, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, well, private businesses can do what they want. They can serve who they want." Um, aren't people still suing that baker from Colorado for not wanting to do uh, cakes for gay and lesbian weddings or transgender uh, I don't I forget gender reveal cakes. Like, he has the right to refuse service to anyone he chooses. So why the fuck are people suing him? That's his guaranteed right. Nobody has a right to tell him you're going to bake this cake for me. Nobody has the right to tell him what to do. Tell him how what his labor is worth or why he should give it to them. And when you look at that and then look at the bigger picture, when we look at the totality of the whole situation, you see that the government does have its fingers all up in Twitter. And you're a fool if you don't think the government doesn't have its fingers all up in Facebook, all up in Google, all up in YouTube. Look at just I don't know what I can say to open your eyes to these facts, because they are facts. I mean, we know through the Twitter files that they swept the Hunter Biden story and all other kinds of different stories, and so this is I don't know. I don't know what else to say about that. To be honest with you, I get lost on the topic because there's just so much bullshit that comes with it. But the government is not your friend. Anytime they put their fingers in something, they destroy it. And so I think it's time, there's been people, you have Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, all these people who frankly, I don't trust any of these politicians. I like Rand Paul. I like Thomas Massey. For the most part, I like Justin Amash. But none of those guys are libertarian enough for me. I don't think they're libertarian enough for the country. And they haven't won my vote. I don't live in their state. I live in Texas. And you think I'm happy with who runs my state? You're fucking crazy. Greg Abbott is a fucking joke, man. He's been promising school choice since he got elected in the first fucking place, and we still don't have it. Still don't have it. Still promising it. Still getting reelected on the bullshit, but we still don't have it. And I don't fucking get it. I really don't. I don't understand it. But then again, and as much as I don't like being a part of the system, I guess that's just what it is. But and like I said, there's a lot of news that I could cover. But now that we're basically, I don't know, 15 minutes in, and I've ranted about the Twitter files and whatnot, I think it's time to switch gears. We can talk about the balloon if you want to, but the main reason why I wanted to have the podcast today is because over the last, and y'all know this is Stone Liberty. This is what we're doing right now. Before we get into the meat of this conversation, and that is the amount of grift, simps, and otherwise just bullshit that has been happening within the libertarian space on Twitter and other places, other social media, that has just fucking been getting on my goddamn nerves. I honestly am so frustrated with the state of the Libertarian Party in, general, but right now I have some bones to pick with specific people. So if you guys aren't familiar with yoga pants, let's talk about this one for a minute. Because all right, before we talk about yoga pants, I do need to go ahead and throw some shit out there. Yes. Dues paying member of the Libertarian Party. Been a firm believer since, I would say, 2004, when I really got into politics. I wasn't even voting age in 2004. I just thought, maybe I would want to join the Marines and fight for my country, and I had to really find what my true beliefs were at the time, because I didn't agree with the war. I didn't know why we were there. I'd already lost friends at the time, and I just didn't see the point of the war. I really didn't. And then, I was turned on to Ron Paul from my grandpa, of all people, who was a Navy veteran, and somebody that fought for this country, that believes in capitalism and the U.S. and everything else. Like, he's a legit dude. But I had heard him talk about Senator Paul, because, like I said, I live in Texas. Or maybe he was a representative. I'm not sure. I just remember him talking about Ron Paul when I was younger. And then when it came around to when I was going to be voting age, I started really looking into Ron Paul. The Ron Paul Revolution had a big impact on my political leanings, and that's where I got started in libertarianism. Now, in the last year, I have been kicked out of my state affiliate, my state Mises affiliate, and that's just because I think their leadership is poor. And a lot of people do. A lot of people do. A lot of people would agree with me that right now the Libertarian Party, I have no problem with Angela. I love Josh to death. Shout out to Break the Cycle. Check that pod out for sure. But I have no faith in it, especially the Texas leadership. LP Texas, LP Mises Texas don't care for their leadership at all. They're a bunch of snakes to me. They're politicians, and politicians are not to be trusted. But I mean, you can say that about anybody that gets into politics, I guess. If I decided to run for mayor, somebody would damn sure call me a politician, even though I'm just your average everyday guy who wants to see his city do better. And I've thought about it, but it's not something I'm really interested in. Not something that I'm really interested in. But I had a discussion with Angela McCardle, our party chair, who really put it into perspective for me, which was, there are a lot of great people that operate outside the party that bring new people into the fold. During this last election, I was able to get around 120 teenagers, a lot of them my niece's friends, people just graduating high school, going into college. I would I basically pitched it to my niece that we should have a sit down and talk about the upcoming elections, why they're important, who we should vote for, and who we should vote for locally to make sure that our city doesn't go to complete shit. And our first meeting was like 20 people, but I got 100 signatures over 2 months period of time. 122 signatures, 122 young people that are getting ready to go in college, basically be acclimated to the liberal ideology and get them to really question that from the jump. Question what it means to be free and what real political party is about freedom. And the only party that really is about freedom for the people and living society for the people is the Libertarian Party. Now, we can go back and forth about things that we disagree on, like open borders, this, that, and the other, but the principles are pretty much I work for myself. My labor is not free. Taxation is theft. My property is mine. Don't mess with me or my property. I won't mess with you or your property. Those are all simple standards that, I mean, should really go without saying. People got really frustrated as, like, when the LP decided to remove, we view racism as irrational and repugnant. Like, tight, dude. That should go without saying. And I think that's why they removed it. And there's still people that are so upset about that. Well, bro, get over yourself. Just get over yourself. But I still advocate for the Libertarian Party and for the Libertarian candidates in my state that I agree with, that I support from outside the party. I'm not running for anything in the Libertarian Party, but I still hold faith in I still hold faith in those values and those philosophies that the Libertarian Party stands for. So even if I'm ostracized from my state affiliates, it doesn't matter. I want freedom for everyone, and freedom in my head is moving forward. And if it's a political movement, it's going to be the Libertarian Party and the Libertarian movement. How we get there, that's a good question, because there's a lot of infighting right now amongst a lot of people in the party. And as sad as it is to see, it happens. If you look at the Democrats and the Republicans, there's infighting in both of those parties right now too. So, of course, there's always going to be infighting. But we shouldn't let that deter us from spreading the message of freedom, and especially to those who are already living in this country, born naturalized citizens of this country, our kids, your kids, everybody's kids, regardless of how you feel. I'm from Texas, so my views on open borders are probably not going to be very popular within the party. I believe that you can't have sovereignty without borders. If you believe in property rights and you believe in your property has lines, borders, correct? So I think that translates to states and localities as well. So there's just some things you can't skirt around. You can say that you disagree with it, but it doesn't mean that even if there was a libertarian president elected tomorrow, there's no way that all this shit would get changed immediately. So you have to keep that in mind. You have to be realistic about the situation. You can't just think that if a libertarian gets elected president that all this shit is going to change immediately. There's never been a point in time where this country has been ran by fiat, except for as of recently, since like Obama, Bush basically. It started there, So you can blame who you want to. I blame Bush and the administrations back then that put us in the situation we are in now. But back to the topic. And now that you know my position in the party, where I stand, we got to talk about the people that are trying to swoop in on what's going on in what we're doing, you know, as a party, in our philosophy, so on and so forth. I want to scroll through and find this so that I can show you who I'm talking about. The number one is my number one favorite grifter right now, right here. Kalina George. Kalina George. In case you're not familiar, she has happily embraced the yoga pants girl stereotype. She jumped in, you see right here that Liberty chick claiming to be a part of the Libertarian Party. And I'm just gonna go through here and read some of these tweets before I get into what was said between us and why it was said. So let's just fucking get into it. I mean, see, if you go through her Twitter, most of her tweets are all about herself, unless she's arguing with somebody, right? I have the most rock solid mental health of anyone I know. No anxiety, depression, mood issues. It's because I eat healthy, work out, and speak my mind. What keeps your mindset on point? Here's another tweet, and we'll definitely get into this one. Imagine inviting me on your podcast, then being so unprofessional you block me instead of telling me you're too lame to have a convo. All right, this has been addressed, and we'll get to it. But I'm still gonna scroll just to show you all this shit. Happy Monday. Remember, friends, if you do things to earn self-respect, it doesn't matter what people on the internet have to say. So you're in your workout clothes, your yoga pants, pushing your chest out, fully embracing being a thought. Okay. Good morning to everyone but the libertarians trying to destroy the party from within. You're not a member of the party, dude. Why I won't go on Tower Gang, dude? Let's find that tweet. Let's find that tweet. See, she took the picture down, or maybe no. This is a reply to Top Lob. I'm done with the clown show, especially Liberty Lock Pod, slandering me as a Fed for zero reason, and he's knowingly lying. Okay, let's just keep going. Imagine me saying I'm done responding to you and you continue retweeting until you have nothing and give up and block. It's not what happened. That's not what happened. I can guarantee you it's because of who you are and what you're doing. It has nothing to do with giving up and just blocking you. It's just because you're you're an op, yo. You're not a Fed, you're an op. That's what it is. But I mean, a lot of this is just all You know what I mean? Right here. I used to be one of these. It's always me, 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 me. Clint is your friend, and this is her trying to talk to the redheaded libertarian. Now, I'm sure it's. We'll continue to scroll, and we'll be able to see. Yeah, you did go on. You did go on with Clint, and you proved to everybody that you are just not a member of the party, yo. See, if you hang with women who have creepy ideas and call them your friend, I'm flattered to be called a bad actor by you. Alright. Because I know she posted the podcast, and that's what I'm looking for right here. So, I mean, we can, we can cruise over here.
Everyone.
I don't have my headphones
So
on, so I
tonight
can't
I am going
see.
live with Clint from Liberty Lockdown.
I can't
Because I
really
feel so bad though.
hear
Dave's like in his kennel right now. He's all
what
upset.
she's saying
So
right now,
bad.
but I
was
mean,
gone like all day.
you don't need to go very far into the
I don't
video
put
to
it on my
find
phone
out what
'cause I
she's
don't
all
wanna
about.
waste
Hold on.
any more time on social media
Should
than I
have
already
these
do.
plugged in because
That's
it's the
pretty
only way
smart.
I
I
can
need to
monitor
stop with
what's
Twitter.
actually being
Like running my life
going
now is
through.
like too much. So okay, so the debate. Like people are asking, what is the debate about? What are we debating? Are we debating about Mises Caucus, culture of the Libertarian Party? Like what's the beef here? Nick Starwark and whether or not I like the old regime.
Well, it isn't it your beef? Not
See, just right there, right off the jump, dude. Like, is it because Nick Sarwar? Yeah, that's a big problem of it. You obviously don't know what's going on in the party or what's happened in the party recently. So, I mean, that right there is just the beginning. So,
no one knows really anything about you, so I think it's more your
you're nobody. You just came upon the scene. You haven't established what your ideals are, and here you are on with Clint Russell, somebody that I look up to, who I wish that I had the following of, that I could have people on my podcast with. But regardless, you got that before I did. Do I really care about it? No, but let's just continue watching and listen, because it doesn't take very long. It doesn't take very long at all.
your shots across the bow at the Mises Caucus over the past couple months that has prompted us to take note and to want to know what the fuck the deal is.
Yeah, for sure. So basically, here's the thing. People and
And I have to point out, and she brought this up her own self. Like, I think it's ridiculous that you want to have a podcast, or that you want to have a debate, but you don't have Wi-Fi yet. Apparently, you don't have a Prime phone. Like, dude, I don't. You can make a million excuses, but this is fucking ridiculous. Your connection's terrible. You don't have any equipment, no microphone. No, you're using your phone. And not that I'm knocking that. A lot of people do, just like Clint's using his right now. But you're just entering the space. You don't. You shouldn't. Whatever. I don't think you should be there right now. But let's continue.
just because I just got on Twitter doesn't mean I haven't been a libertarian for 2 years. Like, how long have you been a libertarian?
A libertarian for 2 years. So you completely missed out on all the debates and everything that led up to what was the Reno reset.
40 years.
40 years, like, registered? I don't think so.
No,
I mean,
I'm a second gen libertarian, so
oh,
I've been a libertarian for over 20 years.
okay, nice. Nice. Yeah, so I've been a libertarian for 2 years. Like a lot of people, it all started like during 2020 and everything. But I wasn't just like, oh, I'm a libertarian, I'm a vote libertarian, I'm going to change my registration or whatever. I literally did get involved. Like, I have been involved with the party. I helped do, I don't know why I have like a sparkle going on. Um, I helped to like organize my like you all there. I don't know if you do like anything with the party, but
Okay. Then where are the receipts? If you did all these things in your parishes in Louisiana, where are all the receipts? Where all? I mean, we see all the photos of you in your yoga pants. That's all you ever post. Where's the pictures of you at all these events talking to people? Where are they? I'd like to see those. I'd like for you to be able to prove to me that you're actually putting in the work.
So frustrated for like over a year because I'm like, okay, you guys, first of all, you know how it is. The messaging. Also, you go to meetings, people are just arguing with each other. I mean, maybe your meetings aren't like that, but people are just arguing with each other. You hop online, everyone's just fighting each other. And I'm like, the whole time, like, we're missing our moment, right? So for me, the biggest thing was health freedom. I'm like, we need health freedom. We need to protect the children. We need to get on this. So I started this platform. I started just connecting with other health freedom moms and everything. But the attitude, and I'm not saying the local people that I know in the Libertarian Party, but the attitude when you're online of libertarians towards me, like, it's never been different than it is now. Okay, I started poking the bear a little bit, of course, but the attitude has always been the same. There's not support, always look, you don't
Then
look
this
like
is not for you. Then this is not for you. Then this is not for you. Like I said, you didn't see, you weren't there for the Reno reset. You obviously need to do, you need to watch that convention. You need to watch that. You need to watch it. I'm done with the video. I can't do any more of it. I really can't. But I dude, uh like honestly that shit is fucking tough as fucked for me to watch. And I forced myself to watch all of it, and I'm really pissed off at you, Clint. I'm just kidding. Fucking love you, bro. You and Limp Biscuit. Just a joke. Just a joke. But let's let me go to my notifications and go through some of what I guess I have to go all the way down to get to where it all started, because there were so many, like, all the scent brigade came after me, and I had dudes threatening me, and just ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It's gonna take me forever to get there. I'm sorry. My apologies. See, and like this is what I'm talking about. Like a lot of these people, this was their reply. I follow for the yoga pants. And there was a lot of this bullshit. Scrawny beard raging against hot chicks is generally a pretty good diagnostic of being an incel or something like that. Dude, shut the fuck up. Tight. I do not care about that. Don't care about that either. Alright, dude. And I mean, I have to go down just to get to the original tweet. Or I guess I could go to my Twitter page, honestly. Let's go here. Boom. All right, so do you remember? You remember this tweet from her? Imagine inviting me on your podcast and then being so unprofessional you block me instead of telling me you're too lame to have a convo. And then my boy Josh with the receipts. Tell Liberty Chick I blocked her because she started blocking people after saying she wouldn't. And she lied about her situation with her son's autism diagnosis while also siding against the only anti vax wing of the movement and taking the side of Nick fucking Sarwalk. That's why you didn't get your podcast. That nobody wants to do a podcast with somebody who doesn't have Wi-Fi, bitch, and who can't. It's ridiculous, dude. It's fucking ridiculous. See, this is this is to that Liberty Chick. When you're blocked by literally everyone who matters to this movement, I'll be here to turn the lights out before I go. I said, what are you, Motel 6? Granted, she might not know what the light switch does. What a light switch does. And shout out to Sal the agorist. I mean, we've been chatting it up today. I'll get to this fucking in a minute. You fucking cuck. Dude. Here she is again. Talking about Clint Russell at Liberty Lock Pod. Clint is your friend, and I can respect that, but he's also this type of person, so respectfully, I think he's trash, dude. It's a fucking comedy podcast, dude. Comedy podcast. Comedy podcast. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I swear I'll get to it. It's got to be around here somewhere. So much. Alright. So here's the thread. Alright. Let's go ahead and get into this one. Alright. So this is what I said. Okay. If you didn't notice, there's a sharp decline in men interested in girls who work out in yoga pants and girls in yoga pants in general because some women have been out to make men look like predators. Here's a perfect example. Respect yourself, that Liberty Chick. Now, this was going to be a string of tweets, right? And so a back and forth starts almost immediately, right? It only proves people follow me because I'm funny. Why don't people follow you? It's like I got banned with 6K followers, and since my ban, I've been less active on Twitter. That, and I'm not a clout chaser with yoga pants on simply to draw simpy men. You know what I mean? Because this is what I was going to point out. Let's go ahead and watch this video real quick. This chick literally skin tight yoga pants, goes down, twists her back, poor form, can't get it up, dude. Can't get up. You can clearly see dudes in the background who are, they're not looking, they're not paying attention, because this is the reality. We have these girls that are going to the gym, and I'm sure people saw the story. I can find it if I need to. I've tweeted about it. The original girl that did it, she ended up having to cancel her TikTok as a workout influencer because it backfired on her. People started calling her out. But, you know, and this is, there was a lot of back and forth between me and just a lot of people. This dude Footloose fucking threatening me and shit. It just got really stupid. You know what I mean? And I kept having to prove the point that, you know what I mean? Like, people should care less about the yoga pants. But it didn't work out for me so well. But not that I care. Oh, and then we got to go through the Todd Hagopian bullshit because he wanted to jump on the bandwagon. See, this was the original chick that got caught in the gym. You know, some dude looked over at her and she's like, "Oh, these fucking pigs, blah, 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 feral pigs." You know, she started it. She started it. She's not embracing it like that Liberty chick, but, what's cool is cool, or whatever. Whatever creams your Twinkie, as I like to say. And y'all saw her do. She demanded the debate with Liberty Lock Pod and with Clint, and it didn't work out for her. So whatever. See, and this is it right here, right? So this is supposed to be the treasurer of the Libertarian Party right here. Simping over yoga pants, girl. That Liberty chick. Just want to apologize for some people in the party. As the father of a young child with special needs, the use of the word retard for cheap laughs on social media grinds on me too. Cheap laughs are for simple minds. That's really simple-minded to say of you, seeing as to how the word retard is a synonym for slow. Autism doesn't make you retarded. It may retard your learning processes, your growing processes, but it does not make you retarded. Down syndrome does not make you retarded. Because you get offended by the use of that word, you can't always take it out of context. My daughter is autistic. On the spectrum, only minor. But it's diagnosed. I'm probably autistic. I show autistic tendencies. But autism is something that has been increasingly diagnosed over the last 20 years. The proof is in the pudding. We could all be autistic. It could just be a part of human nature, for all we fucking know. But the fact that you get offended by the word retard, retardant, whatever, doesn't matter. The fact that people use the word retard is because when the word was actually added to the language, it was defined as slow or too slow. So it's basically an adjective or a verb. If something is retarded, it is slow. That's why we still use it, i.e., flame retardant, because it slows the spread of flames. Dude, you can't and you should never bend your knee to people because they get offended by something. You should never bend your knee when it comes to things, especially if you're a libertarian, when it comes to the First Amendment and how people express themselves. If it offends you, you have freedom of association. You don't have to associate with those people. You don't have to talk to those people. You don't have to have the conversation. Period. You don't have to have the conversation. And that's why, after this podcast is wrapped up, I'm blocking her. I'm done with it. I mean, I'm not... Maybe not yet. Maybe not yet. But Mr. Libertarian in Chief, you're in a leadership position. Don't show me that you're fucking weak, bro. Don't do it. I mean, it's already too late. You've already done it. But that causes me to lose respect for you. It just does. And you don't even know who you're talking about. Unless you know something that I don't know. Unless you know her personally. Unless you know her story personally. And you haven't been seeing what's happening on Twitter. And seeing how her story is unraveling. And basically that she is not who she says she is. You're a weak leader. You should step down. That's my opinion. And I'm free to make it. You're weak. You should step down. That's just how I feel about it. But the grifters and the grift simps, bro, they gotta go. They just gotta go. And as with every Stone Liberty, I'm getting ready to wrap this up. I'm gonna throw some music on. Well, first I'm gonna hit the be right back screen, and then I'm gonna throw some music on. Heat the glass up. Do a dab with y'all before I peace out. But I mean, I think I pretty much got that message across. You can agree with me. We can debate about it if you want to, but that's where I'm at with that. That's where I'm at. That's where I've been. Give me just a second to go use the restroom, and then we'll do this dab together. Y'all cool with that? Let's go.
The enemy team is hunting you. Stay alert.
It's out of my hands, but I'm still in control.
SMG here.
Gas is inbound. Marking new safe zone.
Tango front.
You can never take away the power of my
Boom. And we're back. We're back. Go ahead and turn my screen capture off. I don't want to lock it, I want to turn it off. And then I'm going to blow up this. Yeah. So here we are. Oh, and I got a viewer. Say something in the chat, though. Throw something in the chat real quick. Because I've already pretty much gone over everything I'm going to go over today. I went through the tweets, went through the receipts, had to call out that Liberty chick and the the Libertarian in Chief, Mr. Todd Hagopian. And I've done what I've come to do. Right now I'm getting ready to do a fat dab and call it a day. But at the end of the day, I think I've done a pretty good job proving my point. I don't need to do a deeper dive, bro. There's nothing deeper to dive into. As I told Clint, I don't know how he managed to get an interview with the Chinese space balloon so early. Because her head is so fucking full of air. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. But yeah, we've come to a point where it's time to wrap up the stream. So
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt
we got our little jams going on.
you try to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
I'm gonna have to kill this mic while I warm up this rig.
Yeah, I'm about to fade away. Cause every time I wake up I feel like it's Monday. Something's going wrong with all the chemicals up in my brain. All of a sudden I don't look at anything the same way. Gotta build up of my thoughts sitting in an ashtray. I'm sorry that I'm so inconvenient, okay. Just let me be me and I'll stay out of your way. I can see the way you look at me, I'm such a disgrace. I never really asked to be brought into this place. You wanna love me? Well then baby have a taste. All the highs and the lows, no you'll never be the same. I don't really wanna hurt you but I
Alright, let's do this dab, huh? Stone Liberty. Well, let's make the next time sooner, huh? I mean, I'm not gonna dive any more deeper into the subject. I really do think I should just go ahead and block her and be done with it, like most of the people that I know have. But I think it's important to still have people that can call her out on her bullshit. But here's the deal with the podcast. I'm gonna be starting another job, but I think with the way things are going, with the amount of money that they're offering me, I'll be able to have a schedule where I don't have to work 60 fucking hours a week, 65 hours a week, and actually I can actually do the podcast. But I don't know when or if that's gonna happen, so that we'll have to see. But hopefully I can do more of them. But I felt like this one was definitely necessary because I'm just tired of the shit, man. I'm tired of the shit. Fucking tired of the shit. So if you're tired of the shit, check out my podcast. Check out Liberty Lock Pod. And all the pods that are going to be in the description, you can check that out. Shout out to Wax. He does my theme song, which I didn't play this time around, but I will next time. Actually, I could probably exit to that. Yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Because I got permission to use this song, and I'm going to use it.
This one's called The World is Fucked Up. Government's corrupt. I know it. What the fuck you want me to do? Go overthrow.
But shout out to Big Wax. Wax and Herbal Tea on YouTube. Go check them out. They put out gangster jams. But hopefully we can do the podcast more often. We can have some more fun. I will be streaming here more often during the evenings, playing video games with the homies. So if that's something you're interested, you could always check that out. And then I'll be on Twitter. I think it's at Road Dog Brian 806 on Twitter. But y'all have a good one. Beware the yoga pants, grifters. And stay up, because it's important. The world is really fucked up, and it's on us to, stay above that shit. Alright? So, y'all have a good one. I'll catch y'all on the flipper, whatever. But